Hi, I'm Carole Leathem, and you're listening to the Caretakers Journey podcast.
Hi, I'm Carole Leathem, and I am your host for the Caretakers Journey podcast. And today our topic is all about laughter. When I first became a caretaker, gosh, I can't even believe it. It's like 8 years ago. It floored me how much laughter was important in my recovery and in just dealing with the everyday chaos and craziness of life. Today, I have a very, very special guest, and I want this guest to help me introduce the topic of laughter to you. So I'm going to bring Carole Leathem onto the show today, and we're going to dive into a conversation about laughter. Welcome to the show, Carole.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Hey, tell our listeners how you know me.
I am the grandson of you, Carole, and when you will go to Florida or Milwaukee to do your things, like spreading around this podcast, you'll sometimes stop by our house and we'll watch shows and read books and mostly build puzzles. That's what we like to do.
Yes, we do. So, Carole, you are my grandson. You're one of my grandsons. And who are your parents?
My parents are Jack and Leanne Leathem.
And Jack is my son. And a few weeks ago, Jack was on the show, and Jack and I were talking about prayer. And then when Caleb and I were talking about the idea of the podcast and everything, I asked Caleb if he would help me do a show about laughter. So, Caleb, let's do it. Let's start with the definition of laughter. So, if I was going to ask you, Caleb, what is the definition of laughter? What would you say?
Laughter is all based on the gift of God. It's what we do as a thing of happiness. Laughter is a symbol that we are enjoying the life of what that other person is doing in our life.
I love
That
that.
person is having us have joy, even if it's a tough moment.
I love
Joy
that.
brings back memories sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Joy defeats anger in some
Oh, yes.
situations.
Yes.
And joy and happiness, laughter are one of the best of God's gifts.
I love that. So, do you know there is a practical definition of laughter? And the practical definition of laughter is to show emotion with a vocal sound. Because laughter is what? It's the sound we make when we're happy. Did you know that sometimes people will make the sound of laughter when they're afraid? They'll have kind of a different, but it sounds different. The sounds of laughter are different. And the joyful laughter, which is what you were discussing or what we were just talking about, is a spontaneous sound in response to something amazing or funny. Yeah. So when you watch your dog Hunter out in the backyard, you know how he gets the zoomies sometimes and starts running around like crazy? Yeah, woo, from one end to the other. I have heard you stand at the back door and just start cracking up or laughing about what he's doing because you're getting a happy feeling. You're getting a joyful feeling from watching him run around. What are some other things that make you laugh?
Lots of things. Mostly I like funny things. Like, jokes are good, but mostly I like when people do really silly things, like gymnastic moves that are messed up. Or like when
Gymnastic moves. Did you say gymnastic moves that are messed up? I like that.
Just short clips that are messed up. People mess up, but that's good. It's a mistake. You're learning from the mistake.
That's so
And
cool.
it can give people laughter.
Yes,
Even
it
if
can be.
it was embarrassing.
Yes. So, do you think it's important that we learn to laugh at ourselves when we do certain things?
It depends on the thing. If you did a right thing, like making a friend laugh, that's totally fine. If you did an evil thing like hurting your friend and you think it's funny, that's not really funny.
I agree. I completely agree. Well, there's a magazine called Psychology Today, and they did a study on laughter. And they said that laughter is contagious, which means if one person's laughing about something and there's somebody else there, that that majority of the time your laughter will carry over and the other person will start laughing too. And so laughter is contagious and it helps us bond quickly with family and friends. That laughter is that bridge that helps us feel closer to the person that we love, whether it's a friend or a loved one or something like that. And I remember, you don't even remember, years ago when I first started this journey of being a caretaker, you don't even understand that at 2 years old, you were part of what I call laughter therapy for me, because you would, at 2, say and do things that would make me smile, would make me laugh, would make me forget if something was hard or sad. And one of our favorite places on the planet to go and spend time laughing was, do you remember where we used to go all the time?
Was it's either restaurants or Disneyland?
It was, yeah, I'm the restaurant queen, but I'm talking about Disneyland. When I come around, we go to restaurants, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fine.
Disneyland. Disneyland became kind of the place where we could go and just have fun and laugh and smile, because let's face it, nobody can be sad at Disneyland, can
Of
they?
course. No, Disneyland's the happiest place on earth.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is the happiest place on earth. That is true. So, Caleb, did you know that when a person feels tension or stress, laughter can help relieve that?
Yeah, and it can help heart stuff. What's
Yes, it can. Tell
Mhm.
me, it can make us feel healthier. It can make us healthier, boost our immune system. It can also help us do what? Relax our muscles. Yes, take a deep breath and relax. It helps with our circulation. It helps prevent heart disease. These are all pretty serious things that laughter can do. It can also make your mood change. So, have you ever been in a bad mood and something makes you laugh and then all of a sudden your mood changed? Have you ever experienced that?
I have experienced that sometimes. Like Ty was over, we
Okay.
played his new game, Superheroes with Stupid Consequences.
Did he make that game up?
Yeah, he made it up with his friend while he was at home. I wasn't upset really. I just was tired and I didn't want to go to karate that day. But then he was like, I have a game. We can play it. We all said yes. And Henry was like, oh no.
so so Ty, who's you're talking about, is my oldest grandson, who is Caleb's cousin, and Tyson, or Ty as we call him, is 17 years old. And one of the things that I love is when I watch Tyson play with Caleb and Liam. And the laughter. Now, in your family of 4 kids, it's you and Liam and Brenly and Shiloh. Who do you think has the most contagious laugh? Who do you think has the best laugh? And when they start laughing, all of a sudden, of the kids, who do you think has the best laugh? And when they start laughing, everybody starts smiling and laughing.
Can it be the adults
Nope,
too?
we're talking about the 4 kids.
All right, the 4 kids. I William can get a laugh.
Okay,
Uh, he will laugh hard. I don't know if he's actually having laughter or if he's like, I don't know how to say it,
okay.
but he can laugh.
So William,
Um,
who's your brother?
William.
Okay. Now what about Brenly?
Brenly Leatham, I would say, is second. When Shiloh laughs, she's the best of them all. When Shiloh laughs, her laughs, if she laughs so hard, it'll sound like she's crying really.
Yeah. Shiloh is the baby and she's 2 years old. And I would agree with you that when Shiloh laughs, it makes all of us laugh. And you can't help but smile when you hear Shiloh laugh. Now, you were going to say an adult. So, what adult were you going to say?
Um, I was not really gonna pick an adult. I was just thinking of as a decision,
Okay. So, you were
But
looking for options.
I cannot decide.
Okay.
I think all of our family can laugh
Do you
the
think when our
best.
family gets together, we have a lot of laughter?
Yeah, that's the part I was gonna say. It says right
Okay.
here,
Tell me what you were going to say.
I was gonna say, after we all sit down at the dining room table, I will tell a few jokes usually,
Oh,
and
you'll tell a
everybody
few
at the table
jokes.
will laugh.
And then we'll
Remember?
start laughing. So, do you have a couple of jokes? Well, let's do this first. Let's talk about. I think that laughter is a gift from God. I really do. I think the ability to laugh is a gift from God. So, do you have any Bible verses you could share with us about laughter?
Yes, I do, in fact. Genesis 21:6. And Sarah declared, God has brought me laughter. All who hear about this laughter will laugh with me and God.
Isn't that interesting? We were just talking about laughter being contagious, and that's what the scripture is saying right now through Sarah, that when God had brought her laughter and when people heard her laugh, they were going to laugh with her. Okay, what about another scripture?
Proverbs, Proverbs, Proverbs
Yes.
17:22. A cheerful ear is a good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up all those bones.
So here we
Dries up
see,
appetite.
yeah, so here we see laughter as, again, we were talking about laughter being having healing qualities, and that's a scripture about that. How about one more? Do you got one more?
Yes, I do. I would like to share it, even though it says one or two. Luke's. Am I doing this right? Yeah. Luke 6:21. God blesses you who are hungry now, for you will be satisfied. God bless you who weep now, for in due time you will laugh.
Wow. So what do you think that means?
The first one, Genesis 21:6, I'm pretty sure I like to say is it means God is God has a gift, and that gift was laughter.
Okay.
Laughter is something that all people can have, but it only happens if you're happy. If you're mad, you can still have laughter, but it's if no one helps you, it's not going to really do anything
I like
because
that. I like that.
of
So
that.
what about the other scripture? What about Luke 6:21? What do you think that one means?
Luke 6:21. Uh you who are hungry now. I can't really explain that, but I can kind of see that God is saying for those who weep at that moment, soon anyone, even if they're your enemy, like it says in the Bible,
Uh-huh.
even if they're your enemy, they can still help you.
Oh, so you might be weeping now, but in time you're going to start laughing. And somebody
Yeah,
might help you laugh, and sometimes your
it can be
enemy might.
anyone, even the person who got mad at you or hit
Mhm.
you, did
Mhm.
something bad.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So, Caleb, do you do you know that when you share a funny story or tell someone a joke, it can help reduce their stress?
Yeah, and that's one of the best things that happens in laughter. It's not just about telling jokes, it's about helping
Right.
people advance their mood to a better attitude.
A
Like
better
today's my mom's
attitude.
birthday,
Yep.
and we all have to act. better because it's obviously her birthday.
It's your mom's birthday today, so you got to act better and have a good attitude. Are you
Everybody has, not just
Oh, okay. So, one of the things about sharing a joke or a funny story is it takes your concentration off of the problem that's making you sad or stressed or unhappy, and you start thinking about the joke or you start thinking about the story. And if it's a funny story and you start laughing, then it helps us step away from our problems for a moment and laugh. So for instance, when I was having a really bad day one day, your dad came, you were 2 years old, and he put you in your my arms and he said, "Come on, we're going to Disneyland." And I'm like, I can't go to Disneyland. This is all falling apart and this isn't going well. And your dad said to me, "Now, you need to take this grandson and you need to go to Disneyland and you need to have some fun and you need to laugh." And so for a few minutes, you and Disneyland helped me laugh, and it helped me step away from my problems for just a few moments or a few hours and just relax. And then I came back and I felt so much better. So, how about, do you have any favorite jokes you would like to share with my listeners today?
well, in fact, yeah, I do.
Okay.
There was this pirate, and there was this barber man, and the barber shop owner, came up to the pirate and he says, "How'd you get the peg for a leg?" The pirate says, "I was walking on a deck, shark came out of nowhere and ate my leg off. That's how I got it." And the barber shop owner said, "Where'd you get that um where'd you get that hook?" And he said, "Well, I was walking on the deck, whale came out of nowhere and swallowed it. I had it replaced with a hook later that day." And the barber man asks, "How'd you get that eye patch?" And the pirate says, "I was walking on a deck, a seagull came out of nowhere, pooped in my eye, and I had the hook at that time, scraped my eye, should have used the other hand."
Okay, you can't, you as the listeners can't see how he just acted out the joke while he was telling me about it. Okay, yeah, there you go. That okay. How about another joke? Do you have another one? I'm kind of afraid to ask.
Let me see. Oh, here's
You've
one.
got me laughing. You have me laughing for sure.
Hold on.
Okay, do you have
Why
another
was six,
favorite joke?
why was 6 afraid of 9?
Why was 6 afraid of 9? I have no idea.
Cause 7, 8, 9. I mean, why was 6 afraid of 7? 7, 8, 9.
Oh, that's
7,
yes, 7, 8, 9. There
8.
you go. And again, I wish you could see him acting out his jokes as he's telling me. Okay, one more. One more favorite joke?
That's all that I can remember.
Okay. That's all you can remember. Well, Caleb, one of the things that I like to do on my episodes of the podcast is I always like to talk to people about their self care, because taking care of yourself and being healthy is so important. So, what are you, Caleb, going to do in the next 24 hours that is going to make you happy, maybe make you laugh, maybe help you take care of you?
Well, as in a healthy condition, I'm gonna spread the news of laughter, which will only help them, but it
Yes.
will make me have a good feeling.
Yes.
And I'm also gonna, do some healthy things like running on treadmills and growing knowledge from the Bible.
Okay.
I'm also gonna eat healthier. That's
You're going
why.
to eat healthier. Okay. So, what are two of your favorite activities when you have time to just do whatever you want to do? What are two of your favorite activities that you like to do?
What are two of my favorite activities that I like to do? For all of you, reading is one of my favorite things.
Yes.
I read any book
He
because
does.
I'll read teenage books. Like right now, I'm reading The Hobbit while I'm 9. I read Harry Potter series while I was 7. I read the Wingfeather Saga while I was 8. I don't care which book I read.
You just
I
love to
just
read.
want to grow knowledge in that book. And all the books I read have a purpose. Like
Mm,
there's based on biblical stories. Like Harry Potter, sacrifice. The Wingfeather Saga, also sacrifice. And taking care of other people.
I
And a
never
Hobbit
thought
has
of Harry Potter being a biblical story, but I
it
guess you're
is
right.
kind
When you
of.
start, it is
It
kind
is
of. You
kind of.
can find
But it's like,
biblical
like a
application in
Sanish
sacrifice.
story.
So, what about Legos?
What about
Do you
Legos?
like to build with
Legos?
Legos?
Oh yeah, Legos will take my mind off of things. Yeah,
Okay.
Legos will help though grow knowledge in my brain like reading.
Uh huh.
I like resting after I play Legos to knock out that knowledge for just a bit so I can, rest my brain. And
Rest
then
your
I
brain.
can
So
easily remember.
there's a lesson for all of us in what you just said. Sometimes we have to take a rest and stop thinking to give our brains a rest.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's important. Okay, so Caleb, thank you so much. Caleb is 9 years old and he is in the third grade. And
Uh,
I am,
sorry. My mom entered me 4th grade. I don't know why
oh,
she did homeschool 4th grade
oh, because he's homeschooled. So you advanced to fourth grade?
on accident.
Wow. So you and HB are in the same grade then, technically.
Basically, so we're gonna move on grades. I'll be age shorter for my age.
Oh my gosh. So, Caleb, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. You have made me laugh. And it has been so fun. And I know for a fact that today is your mom's birthday, and there is a birthday party that's going to be happening. So you're going to go down and laugh, and your cousins are all there, and it's going to be a great evening. So I will see you next week. I'll see you later on in the week when I come up for a few days because like you said at the beginning of the show, I'm heading to Milwaukee again. So I'm,
Milwaukee
co-
to
I'm
take
coming
care of
to
your
spend the
parents.
night with you before I fly out. But thank you. Thank you for coming and talking about laughter. Thank you for just making me laugh for a few minutes. And I love you, babe. And
Hmm.
so, if you want to know more about my caretaker's journey, you can find the link to my book, Are You Ready to Find Joy When Life Gets Messy, in the show notes. You can find
Yep.
all of the ways to connect with me in the show notes as well. And next week, the Caretaker's Journey podcast will be back for another meaningful conversation about what happens in our journey and how to live with the chaos and the emotions that sometimes impact, and how we laugh is something we learn today. So until we come back for another meaningful conversation, it's all about Him.